In episode number 288 of the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, we cover Constantine's return on the CW hashtag Save Constantine.
Finally, we also have DC's June 2018 solicitations.
At the very end of the podcast, we're going to interview Dwight from Dwight's Comics, the man who has taken over the comic shop that I grew up with, Dreamline Comics, and the all-new Dwight's Comics, and what that means for the comic readers in Schaumburg, Illinois.
All of that and so much more on today's show.
Hello and welcome to the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, bringing you the reasons we're broke every single week, ranging from comics, movies, TV, video games, and more. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Kelly.
For those of you joining us for the first time, welcome to the Brokehead Core. You have taken an oath and a try on the podcast, so thank you so much. We hope you stick around and don't leave the core.
They've joined a cult now. You download it. It's done.
The basic format is we go through the news. We head on over into our Brokehead block, which is the background workings of the podcast, what's been happening with Kelly and I. We move on over to the Patreon shoutouts of the week, the people that make the podcast possible. And then we end with a comic book review, a highlight, or an interview. This week, of course, Dwight from Dwight's Comics.
We have some great news for you, though, so we're going to jump right in.
Kicking it off with the CW. Although DC's Legends of Tomorrow has yet to get its season renewal, Matt Ryan is set to return as a regular, as the only thing that he should ever do, and that is as John Constantine.
I think you read that wrong. It's Constantine is getting a second season about fucking time.
Featuring the DC's Legends of Tomorrow.
So Ryan has previously had a guest appearance in Green Arrow, which was a waste of time. Just
fast forwarded through all the nonsense.
And he's had 3 appearances on Legends of Tomorrow, which we have not seen either. I have not seen. Because I think my dislike for Legends of Tomorrow might be greater than my like for Matt Ryan as Constantine.
You really didn't like Legends of Tomorrow.
I did not like
It's
Legends
a solid
of
show.
Tomorrow.
It is solid.
Did it get better after like the first few episodes?
It found its groove because if it discovered that what the show is about, at least from what I've seen up on Netflix, I don't know if it's changed after that, and that's why we haven't seen the Constantine episodes, because they're not on Netflix yet. But once they're on there, you bet if it's shitty, we'll just fast forward like we did with Arrow. But I always thought that it was a better show than Arrow because it did find out about itself that it's
better show than Arrow still isn't saying a lot, but I'm sorry.
It is just the TV show about a bunch of superheroes in the DC universe time traveling and just having fun with it, as far as not like in the Marvel way of let's just joke around. Like, no, let's go meet the guy who created Star Wars and fuck around with him for a bit. Let's go meet Jonah Hex and fuck with him. So it just became a kind of self-referential yet historical type of time travel show. If you took Doctor Who and injected superheroes into it, that's what Legends of Tomorrow sort of became. But not to the quality of Doctor Who, because I know the writing is better in Doctor Who, and I haven't seen that many episodes.
But I don't like Doctor Who either. Maybe I'm just not about time travel.
That might be it.
Have
you ever seen Back to the Future?
Yeah, it was
not
okay.
For you? Yeah, okay. Then that's probably what it is. But with Constantine on there as a regular, and this is something that was put out online as like this is huge news, this we didn't even see happening, and we're getting Constantine. And if you guys remember, when they first started Legends of Tomorrow, the whole plan, and we covered it on the podcast 2 or 3 years ago, was to rotate the cast every season. So you wouldn't always have the exact same characters or villains from season to season. And that's what when they initially canceled Constantine, it's like, okay, let's get a season 2. We didn't get a season 2. Let's put him on Legends of Tomorrow. And they said from like many years ago again, that maybe he could become a regular to the DC Legends of Tomorrow, and then it's like people forgot about it for a while, and then it finally happened. So it's like it really is the show that they pitched at the very first from the get-go.
I am so happy that he's continuing to do Constantine work because I love him as Constantine. I think he's a fantastic Constantine. Really made me like the character. But you know what needs to happen? And I'm pretty sure I've said this before, but I want a Constantine Lucifer crossover, please and thanks. That would just make my life.
I know some of the brokeheads have been saying that maybe this will lead into a season 2 for Constantine. Maybe we'll get what we've always wanted.
What I don't understand, why is Lucifer so successful but Constantine wasn't?
Constantine was before Lucifer, though. So, well, we need the 1 million moms to get mad at Constantine.
Get mad at Constantine.
And then
to start watching Constantine like they do with Lucifer. Because they watch that shit every single week and tell their husbands, I just have to know what's out there.
For the children. I need to note this. And
It's not for Lucifer and his charm and his singing abilities. And none of that. None of that.
That's what it needs, Kelly. You found the formula. If you want season 2 to succeed on Constantine, someone secretly tell someone needs to write into the 1 million moms as a concerned Christian parent and let them know about this filth that is coming back, that they had defeated the evil with season 1, but the evil has returned with season 2. And then get them to watch it, get a partnership through Olive Garden again.
Yes.
That way we get that controversy and those bannings and what do they call it when they stop going to those places, they boycott it.
Yep.
And that's how you make a success out of a TV show that has that same type.
So the success for a TV show, the equation for those of mathematical minds out there are one TV show plus 1 million moms divided by like 1,000, because there's not really a million moms, equals successful TV show.
You need the devil spin in there, like the supernatural, the ghosts.
Times handsome devil figure. Plus love story. There's got to be a love story. Plus angelic figure who falls from grace, because there's one of those. Who is also handsome. And black, because it was black in both shows.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Successful TV show.
So we're ready. We're ready, 1 million moms, take down Constantine season 2.
Yes.
But as I told the Brocat Core, all that we're getting now, even if we never get a Constantine season 2, this is all gravy. This is all bonus. This is special content, bonus content, because we were never promised anything Constantine ever again after season 1. Like, we got that order. This is what you guys are getting. Maybe there'll be more in the future. And it's like, now that he's appeared on Arrow, he's appeared 3 times on Legends of Tomorrow, and now he's going to be a regular on that show. This is all just bonus, 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 bonus. This is all a gravy. You're not owed a season 2. No one is owed. You and I, who loved season 1, are not owed a season 2.
I, as the Emperor, am owed a lot of things, but whatever. Continue.
If we don't get a season 2, this is season 2. The Legends of Tomorrow, as you said, plus the other appearances can be bonuses on the DVD and Blu-ray. This is all amazing.
Vote with your dollar and just put the Constantine episodes on repeat when they come up on Netflix. Maybe they'll make a season 2.
On to the comic book news. The crossovers are continuing, Kelly, between DC and Archie Comics. Batman 66 is going into the world of Riverdale, not the CW Riverdale, but the classic Archie comic, and they're going to meet in a miniseries starting this July.
Now, let me tell you, when I read this headline, I thought, what a fucking stupid idea. But wait, we're not done. And I'm sure there are brokeheads thinking the same thing I was. But just wait. Just don't be a million moms. Get your panties out of a bunch. Because this is actually a pretty fucking cool idea. So this will be written by Jeff Parker, who's done Thunderbolts, and Michael Morecki?
Morecci or Moresi.
Okay, who's done Hoax Hunters, with art from Dan Parent from Veronica.
The classic Dan Parent. I love Dan Parent.
Jay Bone, who did DC Super Friends, and Kelly Fitzpatrick from Gotham City Garage.
A quote here from Parker, who said, "Look, we all want to know what Jughead and the Joker make of each other, and we want to see the romance dynamics of Riverdale High thrown completely out of gear by bringing in Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon." End quote.
Holy shit, that's amazing. Dick Grayson walking through Riverdale, turning all these heads. See you later, Archie. Nobody cares about your redhead ass.
That's so true, and that's how they're going to fight at first, because now Archie, he's gonna fight like Phoenix Wright in Marvel vs. Capcom 3, where he's just tumbling through and accidentally hurting the other characters. That's going to be fantastic if that's what they end up doing.
And then what's going to happen is they're going to be walking in the hall, and classic Archie, he's going to like bump into Dick Grayson and like fall over, but then Dick Grayson's going to do some cool tumble and land like pa-ching! And then there's going to be roses and sparkles. And
you know what would be even funnier if Dick Grayson also fell for Archie and they're all competing for Archie?
They're all in love with Archie. I think this is a great idea. I love it.
It's set to release issue 1 on July 18th. Again, the crossover from DC and Archie. I can't remember who's actually publishing it, because usually it's one or the other. It might be Archie this time, because they'll typically share the publishing rights or they'll trade off on it. Because last time they did DC, Harley and Ivy Meet Betty and Veronica, that one was by DC. But then, for example, in Dynamite, when they had that crossover with The Shadow, one series was published by Dynamite and the other one was published by DC. So we'll see. I didn't pay enough attention to the solicitations, but we'll know from the previews catalog.
Can I tell you, I think DC's really smart with all these crossovers.
They're the only ones doing it. Marvel's not playing the fucking
because
game.
Marvel's like, no, these are our characters. But the people who read DC and don't like these other franchises are just not reading them, which is fine. And then you have people who like the Turtles who are like, fuck yeah, I'll read a Batman Turtles. And then we're like, fuck yeah, I'll read a Batman Turtles.
Have you seen all the memes online of Marvel, Infinity War is the most ambitious crossover ever done? And then people are finding all of the actual crossovers that are like, no, these are way more ambitious than Infinity War.
Right, yeah.
And one of them was the comic from Batman TMNT where it's Batman and Raphael and he says, this is where my parents died, Raphael. This is where I watched them die. It's like, holy shit, that is fucking, look at him. He's telling him, this is where the child in me was killed. We relate on this, Raphael. Amazing. That's a fucking ambitious crossover.
Except Raphael grew up with brothers and a father, but whatever.
Yeah.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Calm down, Raphael.
Yeah, what's his fucking deal? Why is he so fucking angry?
I don't know. Have you seen one of my favorite things when the Infinity War poster came out? Somebody posted the picture of it, and they said, like, kudos if you can find Ant-Man or something like that. And I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like, is he supposed to be, like, really tiny, like he's an Easter egg in the poster? And then, like, I click on the comments, and somebody's like, yeah, he's in the corner right next to Hawkeye or whatever. And then I'm still looking, I'm like, did they shrink him too? He's not in there. That's the joke. He's just not in there.
They got you. So speaking of the solicitations, we do have DC's, and these are the highlights for what's coming up in the catalog this week.
So moving forward with the Bat-Cat wedding, which is what I cannot wait for. I'm so excited. Batman number 49 will have Cat versus the Clown storyline as the prelude to the wedding takes off.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick because those are two very intense loves for Batman. You've got Catwoman and you've got the psychotic love from the Joker. And now you have the two. Obviously, the Joker's not happy about Batman getting married, and he's probably going to try to go after Catwoman. I think he could kill He could kill many characters, but he never does because that's part of the fun. So where do you see Joker coming from in this weird and twisted relationship?
Well, I mean, obviously he loves Batman, so how dare this bitch take his man away?
It's about the dance between the two characters.
Of course.
And someone else is dancing with his man. So this is someone taking the attention away from his games.
What the Joker has to understand is his love for Catwoman is not the same as his relationship with the Joker. There's room in Batman's life for both of them.
That's right.
And he just needs to calm down.
That's right. Not quite as bad as the Harley versus Joker relationship, but we do know that both, when it comes down to it, in level of importance in their lives, I think stopping the Joker or being in a happy marriage, stopping the Joker is more important to Batman because of Gotham, because of his duty as Batman and his duty to Gotham, his duty to his parents, because of what happened. He wants to prevent what happened to him as a child above everything else, above his own happiness. And this is why it's been such a special story, because this is, since Mask of the Phantasm, we haven't gotten a Batman, at least in a while, that will accept happiness in his life, that will be the Batman as well as be happy. And it's special, you know, and with someone like Catwoman, I think that's the character that most readers are agreeing with is the one who Batman should, if you're going to do this story, end up with.
Of course, and I've been saying this for forever. Catwoman, I believe, is one of the very few people, and I say very few people, in the Batman franchise who actually understands Batman and can accept the fact that she will always be second. She will 100% always be second in his life. So by him accepting her and saying, yes, let's get married, that's a huge deal. That's awesome. But she knows when it comes to Gotham, when it comes to stopping these villains, I'm always going to be second. But at the same time, I believe that she's a great partner for him because she has the capability to walk alongside of him and do those things. She, of course, is an anti-hero, I guess, is what we would have called her.
Sure.
And now she's kind of shifting into I wouldn't even still call her
She's a Robin.
hero. Yeah,
she's a fucking Robin.
She's a Robin. But she's a great person to walk alongside Batman because she can hold her own. I mean, we've seen that obviously through the story throughout her history. And she can help Batman on these quests and really back him up when before he's had to be alone.
Since Tom King's contract is until issue 103, we're going to get at least another 50 issues. And on Word Balloon, he was saying that his whole contract, his 100 issues that he's down for, is the story of Batman and Catwoman. He did hint that because he's like, this isn't the end. I have 50 more issues. Obviously, pretty much hinting that they're not going to stay married by the end of his run. But I think that's why he gave us that annual that came out, the most recent one from Rebirth, because that's him showing us this is what would have happened if they stayed together until the end of their lives. And it is an amazing, touching, like, as you said, she's supporting Batman. They're fighting crime together until they grow old. He's still working out, but then he's starting to break down. But she's there to pick up the pieces and kind of keep them together. That's the story for, I think, Batman, Catwoman fans of like, this is always going to be the book of here's what would have happened if they stayed together, or maybe they will get back together this story is never going to end. It's forever ongoing, but this is what could always possibly happen.
You want to know how we keep them together by the end of Tom King's run?
Are you going to threaten Tom King?
No, I'm going to call 1 million moms. And they'll keep them together. I'm not going to threaten Tom King. Tom King is telling a story, and I do love the stories where Katara and Zuko can realize they can never be together, even though they're so perfect together, but they realize for duty they can't be together. And then later in life, they come back together. I love those stories because they evoke such emotion in me, and if that's the course that he chooses to take, at least I got a fucking wedding, right?
Yeah,
Who else
absolutely.
gave me a fucking wedding?
That's
but I'll
true.
still fucking kill you, Tom King.
You pull a Misery where you.
Can we get Tom King on the show?
I don't know. I think he's too big now.
Damn it.
We could try.
Just try.
We can try.
Tom King, I love you. Come be on my show.
When issue 50 gets solicited, I'll reach out to him and see what happens. Like the worst he says is no, and
right.
It's gonna be awesome.
And the best he says is yes.
Yes. It's like, can we get just 10 minutes, Tom?
Tom, just tell me why you love Batman and Catwoman as much as I do.
Also, readers have noticed in the 2018 solicitations that in June, Mr. Miracle is going to be taking a month off, and this is because of Mitch Gerrits and his new role as a dad. So this is another skip that he's had to do. Mm-hmm. The first one was when his son was first born, and now it seems like the struggles of a newborn are taking a toll on the work. And I see him on Instagram, and yeah, he doesn't post as many drawings as he used to, and it sounds like he is going to take another month off. I think with a book like Mr. Miracle, it's not going to hurt as much as, let's say, if this were an ongoing, because then they would just get a fill-in artist. So I think a lot of readers are willing to hold off, wait. They're not going to drop the series over a break. This isn't like, I think the Doomsday Clock delay is heavier than the Mr. Miracle one.
As a new mom myself, take your time, fucking Mitch Gerrit. I understand. It is not easy, and I gotta hand it to Daniel for continuing to get this podcast out every single week, because it is hard juggling everything that we have to do.
We're about to do the interview right after this. Like, I know you guys are just going to hear it all edited and nice and great, but yeah, there is much chaos. It's controlled chaos, but
right.
to this podcast that we do every week. So if you have a hobby and you have a child, get ready to have that bit challenged. But I will never forget the Brocat Core coming through while you were recovering to still give us content every single week. So that's something I will never personally forget. Also, Bombshells United is going to be wrapping up. We knew this was going to be an end, but just a reminder.
It's still going on?
Bombshells United is going to have its final issue in June.
And then the Batman Who Laughs will appear in the Immortals #3.
That was the important bit, because a lot of people said, so then he's not going to die at the end of Dark Knight's Metal, which releases this Wednesday. They're not going to get rid of the character. They're not going to finish him, like throw him in the multiverse, dark multiverse or whatever, and that's where they all die. I think if any of them are going to survive, it's going to be the Batman Who Laughs. And I think that's also another hint by Snyder on Twitter, because he said he was defending Quesada from Marvel over all of the cancellations, and also defending the all-new age of DC superheroes with Damage, Sideways, and all the new characters. And he said, none of us want these characters to fail or to get canceled. We put them out there, but at the end of the day, they have to be supported. Characters like Sideways, Spider-Gwen, and then he mentioned the Batman Who Laughs. So I don't know if anyone else pointed that, noticed that, but I'm like, are we getting a Batman Who Laughs miniseries or ongoing in the future. Because if any of the Dark Batmen are going to get that, the first one's going to be the Batman Who Laughs. Second one's going to be the Red Death. That's really where you go in that. So that's the character they saved. There's a lot to do with him still. If Scott Snyder has a story to tell, great. But for now, he's going to show up in the Immortals, which I don't believe, I might be wrong, I don't think it's written by Snyder, but we do know that he at least survives, gets away, whatever it is, after Dark Knight's Metal.
The greatest ending would be all the other Batmans are dead, and it's just dark, and the Batman Whose Laugh is sitting there, and he just laughs.
Does he kill them all?
No, he's just laughing at the irony of it all.
It's creepy. He's a creepy character.
That's why I stopped reading that.
He's scarier than the Joker.
I'm scared. Right now, I can't keep talking about him. Move on, please.
Go for it.
On June 6th, Justice League will relaunch as a twice-a-month series as written by Scott Snyder, who, of course, has done Dark Knight's Metal, which we can't talk about anymore because I'm scared. With art from ex-Marvel exclusive artist Jim Chung, who did the Young Avengers, and Jorge Jimenez, who has done Superman.
To anyone complaining of a new #1 for Justice League after 40-something issues, 50 issues, whatever it ends up hitting, you guys have not been seeing the sales of Justice League. This book is not selling at what it should be for the comic that it is. And honestly, we ended up dropping it, I think, after 6 or 7 issues, because the story was not good. There wasn't... It was the same type of alien invasion story, arc after arc after arc, and it's like, guys, do something else. Like this, there's so much. You have the whole Justice League at your disposal. Do a giant mystery story. Do something more. But they didn't, and that's why we ended up dropping it, and sales have been declining since. And I think DC noticed, and they're like, we were selling a shit ton more copies in the New 52, and sure, Jeff Johns was on board, but we need someone else on there to handle all of these characters. So it sounds like Scott Snyder is done playing in the Batman universe for now, and instead he's going to do the Batman and Friends comic book, which is the Justice League. And I know Snyder's books like Dark Knight's Metal, we both haven't enjoyed now that we've read so many issues. And
I didn't enjoy from one. Don't be talking
it's
about
true.
I called it. Hashtag called it.
And All-Star Batman ended up being good sometimes, but weak for the most part. So I'm hoping this is kind of like the big bounce back to Snyder. And it's no... Like, he's doing fine as is. He's moving books, but I'm just saying as a reader, as someone who's not really enjoying his stories lately, I hope he does bring us something closer to what he did with Batman in the New 52.
So just some more information about this. The new lineup reflects that of the Timverse plus Cyborg, including the Trinity, the Flash, Hawkman, Hawkgirl, Martian Manhunter, and Jon Stewart.
Yes.
My favorite Green Lantern.
This is basically Grant Morrison's JLA or Bruce Timm's Justice League universe in the comic book, and this is the lineup that I think most people our age are familiar with, simply because of that amazing cartoon that we got out of Warner Brothers.
I don't know how the theme song went. That's
pretty much how it goes. Are you more excited now to see like a familiar team on this as opposed to like the Green Lanterns, meaning Jessica Cruz, Simon Baz?
Oh,
and it's
yeah. I forgot about those. They even existed.
It's like, fucking here you go. Jon Stewart, here's the Martian. And a lot of people have been saying, where the fuck is Martian Manhunter? Here's fucking he's on the goddamn Justice League.
He's just busy doing his shit on Mars.
With Manhattan? I hope so.
Those two are just chilling on Mars. Yes, very, very excited for this. Like you said, there's so much that we can do that can be done with these characters. So hopefully they will really dig into who these characters are, that we'll get to see more of Jon Stewart's military background, of course, and all this kind of stuff. And a lot of emotion from this team. I want to see some heart.
A quote here from Snyder, who said, "Justice League has been the golden ring for me since I came to DC. The story I have planned is something I've been building towards through Dark Knight's Metal, and I can't wait to tell it in the biggest way possible. And to have megastar Jim Chung as one partner and rising superstar Jorge Jimenez as my other partner, I'm just thrilled to get to work." End quote.
Do it.
He has handled the Justice League in Dark Knight's Metal, so that's one thing that you might be concerned with, and me as well, because if Dark Knight's Metal ends up being a kind of precursor to Justice League, and that's how we get the stories moving forward, you know, granted it's a whole different ongoing, but it's I hope we get a more condensed type of story. You boil down the characters, and then you maybe I just want Identity Crisis again. I think that's really what it comes down to. I want the next Identity Crisis.
Well, June 6th isn't that far away. We will see what it is soon enough.
So it sounds like DC is about to sell you some more comic books,
shit.
Kelly.
I've been sold.
DC Comics has announced a series of one-shots titled Prelude to the Wedding as they lead up to Batman number 50.
And they're so good. So first we have Nightwing versus Hush. The synopsis is... Dick Grayson has a lot of responsibility. Being the original partner to Batman, he's the natural choice to be Bruce Wayne's best man. So if anyone has to get to the wedding, it's going to be him. Too bad Hush has other plans. Why isn't Alfred the best man? That's my only question.
That's true. He should be the best man.
Right?
Maybe Alfred's giving Batman away?
Maybe he's giving Selena away.
Oh, that'd be good. Yes.
Tom King, why do you do this to me?
Another one-shot is Robin versus Ra's al Ghul. Solicitation reads, once upon a time, Ra's thought Bruce Wayne would be the heir apparent to his criminal empire, but now that Batman has turned his back on Talia for good, that's not true.
That is true. Calm down.
Ra's al Ghul wants to know if Damian Wayne will honor his mother by stepping into the family business at last.
Hell nah. He not going there.
We've gone through this shit, Ra's.
I'm gonna redo that Hey Ya song, and it's gonna be like hell nah.
Imagine Damien singing that to Ra's, and Ra's is like, what are you doing? What is this dance, Damien?
He ain't doing that shit. He will never betray his father. He may not like that he's marrying Catwoman, but he'll never betray his father.
Yeah, and he'll still honor his grandfather.
Of course.
So he's at an
And we'll
impasse.
get to see him in like a cute little suit, and then somebody will be like, Damien, you look so handsome, and he'll just go,
yeah.
eh.
Another one is Batgirl versus the Riddler.
Synopsis is, on the eve of Batman's wedding to Catwoman, two of Gotham City's finest minds clash. In her role as Oracle, Barbara Gordon wired all of her allies together. But when the Riddler takes on Batgirl, will he tear everything asunder?
So it sounds like she's like the wedding planner type of role.
Of course she's gonna be.
Dick Grayson, who's the son, of the wedding couple, and you've got Dick Grayson, the best man. Now we've got the wedding planner and someone trying to ruin all of that. So is it the Joker behind everything, or you think all of these villains are just against this whole wedding, or they're trying to interfere in some way?
I think it's all the villains against it. As I'm reading through these, like, it builds a bigger picture for me, and my mind's just like, whoa. I'm super excited to see all of this. And so I think it's just every villain out to stop their happiness. Because on the one hand, you have Batman, who's against all of them. On the other hand, you have Catwoman, who's now abandoned them to go to Batman. So who do you really hate more in that instance? You're going to fight both of them. You don't want to see them together. You want to ruin them. So you're going to have the entire Bat family pretty much making sure no shit goes down at this wedding.
Right.
Like, that's what it's going to be.
Pretty amazing. Another one-shot is Red Hood versus Anarchy, which I think is like the whiniest of whiny crossover, like out of these one-shots. Like,
Batman doesn't love me anymore.
I used to be Batman.
Well, he never loved me either. So Red Hood is running security at Catwoman's bachelorette party, and if Anarchy can crash it, that could be the final straw for Jason Todd.
It'll be fine. By the way, Tim Seeley's writing all of these. So
cool.
I know he's got massive amount of fans.
Yeah.
So I know that these are going to do extremely well. The final one shot is Harley Quinn versus the Joker.
This one's not going to sell.
Yeah, this will be, just order 2 copies.
Whatever.
Comic shops.
So when Harley Quinn hears that her old flame is trying to get in the way of a happy new life for one of her best friends, the Maid of Mischief tracks the Joker down to give him a piece of her mind and maybe a few blows from her hammer too.
So 2 of the pieces from the Gotham City Sirens, and as you mentioned, now we have the Best Man story. This is the Maid of Honor story. It really is structured like a wedding. I think it's awesome. It fits so well in the minds of someone that's maybe a little OCD like me. So it's like perfect. So every bit is kind of covered. You
right.
know? The one part that's missing is the bachelor party. So I don't know, that could have been a one shot, but we got Catwoman's bachelorette party. Either way, just more content, more one shots. Are you sold on all 5 of these?
Except for the Red Hood Anarchy. I only want to see that for the bachelorette party parts, which is only going to be a page, I'm sure.
Which one of these are you most excited to read?
Dick Grayson and Hush would be great. Harley Quinn and the Joker, of course.
I think the dynamic between Nightwing versus Hush is that they both were very strong contenders during the battle for the cowl to take over as Batman. So that's another, there's like a bitter type of undercurrent of rivalry between those two characters because one looks like Bruce or, changes his face to look like one and trained like him and fights like him and probably could have in some capacity taken over as Batman for a short period. He definitely did it as Bruce Wayne when he was draining his fucking bank account. So I think that one's probably the heaviest. Maybe the Robin versus Ra's al Ghul, but that's like I said before, we've kind of seen that battle before of, come on, just run the League of Assassins with me. Let me show you if your father doesn't want to be a part of it. Great. We've seen it more from Talia than we've seen from Ra's. So I think this is going to be fun for me as Ra's al Ghul being my favorite Batman villain to see that happen. And I'm definitely going to buy that one, read it first, and just see how Damian tells him, sorry, grandfather, I've got father right here. I love you both, but let's just hold off.
And how Damian would actually say it is, whatever. You know what we're missing, though? There is another one. I'm going to add it on here. I'll write it myself.
All right.
It is Superman versus his emotions.
Yeah, where the fuck is the Superman loves Batman one shot?
In our dreams. That's
where the fuck is that? Where is he, Kelly? You're the Superman loves Batman expert. He's in a dark place right now.
He is. He's going to show up to the bachelorette part or the bachelor party, right? Yeah, he'll be there.
How come he's not the best man?
Because he's Superman. Like, Batman doesn't like him that much. Okay. So he's watching all of this and he's like sad inside, but then he's happy that he's found happiness, but he's also sad because he wishes that happiness was with him. Does
Superman deserve him more then because he's happy that he's found happiness even though it's not with him?
No.
I think so.
No.
I think so.
Because Superman doesn't understand. Superman would not be okay with being put second in Batman's life. He would not be okay with that.
That's true.
Even though Superman, because Superman, yes, he puts the needs of the world first, but if you see how he interacts with his family, it's very different than how Batman is going to interact with Catwoman and his family. Mm-hmm. And Superman's not okay with the darkness that Batman has to go to.
Right.
He's got to live in the fucking light.
And one thing, though, is that Superman, I think, will still be, like we've seen him, flirty with him and thinking about him, even though so nothing is changing.
Pat him on the back. Oh, here's the groom.
But I do think, even if they don't show it in the wedding itself, I'm sure Superman's going to show up, and we're going to be paying close attention to it.
Of course.
But as we've seen in the Batman ongoing, he's debated to himself like he's engaged, and he's just trying to accept it all, accept the fact that he is engaged and not to him.
I want Superman to show up in Selina's dress, but it's like ripped because he has all these muscles. The fuck are you doing, Superman?
I want that variant. That's the one I fucking buy.
Someone draw this, please.
I'm excited. I love these one shots. I mean, you're probably going to get a shit ton of variants for Batman number 50. You're going to have the prelude to the wedding one shots. They're making a big event out of this. You don't expect. Yes, of course, absolutely.
I want more. Give me more. More.
You're going to have the honeymoon one shots, maybe?
Hey, that's on the fanfiction.net site, sir.
You got to get it there. So that does wrap it up for the news this week. Let's head on over into our Brokept block where we do have a question from one of the listeners.
Every week I keep waiting for you to pick a theme song. Do you have a theme song
I'm
yet?
never going to pick a theme song. You can go ahead and do it.
This is what dreams are made of. We went to Hillary Duff there. That's what we get.
All right. I'll take it. Perfect. It was free.
Except it burned some eardrums, but whatever.
So the Brokept block is, as you mentioned last week, sup. What's going on?
Sup.
How we doing? What's going on in our week? How's Leo?
Yo.
How are you?
How's Leo? That is an interesting question. I think the little man is getting sick.
His first illness.
I know, it hurts my heart. But he's 6 months now, so great. He made it through 6 months of life without illness.
He avoided all of the ear infections that I had as a baby, which I was primarily concerned about, and the fact that he can drink pretty much any milk, and that's something I couldn't do either as a baby, so I think he's done really well in life.
Who's got the superior genes now?
He got that from you, and I'm happy he did, because that would have been a miserable time for himself the most, but it would have been difficult for us too.
So yes, I think he's catching a cold. Hopefully he will sleep through the night tonight and feel better in the morning. But other than that, he's a happy, healthy baby. He's a big old chunkers. He's real good at rolling back and forth and tries to talk to us with his and he's adorable. Oh my God, I love that kid. Me, I am tired every day of my life. Tired every day. But I had a good week. I watched some Lucifer. That was a great episode. I watched the season finale for This Is Us. Oh my God.
Were you crying along with the rest of the world?
Of course I was. So I started watching it with Leo. We were watching it together. But his routine is very set in the morning. So we wake up, then we have some food on the couch, and then like 15 minutes after that, we got to go lay back in bed. We got to go to bed, and we got to watch Magic School Bus. So I started watching it thinking like, okay, maybe he'll go to sleep on me and I can finish this. And then no, it was just too much work. So I had to wait for you to come home to watch him so that I could finish watching This Is Us. So I could sit there and cry my way through 40 minutes of television. And I did, and it was fantastic.
So what's the big... I haven't seen a single episode of This Is Us, but I know it's blown the fuck up online.
It's so good.
What is the thing that it's like, this is why people like it? What's the main thing? What's the hook? What is the gimmick?
There is a character for everyone to relate to.
Got it.
So it is a very real show, and I don't want to spoil it for anybody because I suggest you watch it. I mean, granted, it's probably more of a girl show than a guy show.
So it's all drama.
But yeah, it's drama. But it's a family working through problems that they've had, an issue that has really hurt their family and affected everyone around them for 20 years plus. It's been a long time. But there's somebody for everybody to relate to, and it has a very real representation of marriage and of siblings and everything. It's the people who write this are just great, and they don't hold anything back, and the acting is amazing. I think it won some Emmys this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
nice.
Because it's just such a great show, and we should sit down and watch it. Let's just do it. And then there's twists and turns, and you think you know what's going to happen, and they're like, psych, y'all, and I'm like, oh my God.
We still have to watch Voltron.
Yes.
That shit hit on Netflix
Season 5.
a couple weeks ago, yeah.
Magic School Bus Rides Again, Season 2 is coming out April 15th.
Fuck yes.
Except
more of that.
Wanda and Arnold are no longer together, and I don't know what happened.
Is there a trailer already for the next season?
No, not yet.
I want to know if it got a budget boost. I want to know if like all the endless replays that you and Leo have watched of that and the old show together have garnered it a higher budget, so it's not as fucking weird looking. Like that weird, I don't know what kind of animation that is, where they just move the kind of arms around and flop it around. It's not actually animated.
Right.
It's just more physics, and it's like, move the arm this way. All right, and this is, it's very, not choppy, it's too fluid. It's like fucking Jello with these characters. So and it's fine because it's on Netflix. It's not like you're watching this on cable. It had a low budget to begin with. Who knew if there was anyone cared about Magic School Bus? Clearly there are.
Oh, I care about Magic School Bus.
So I'm very curious if it got a budget boost.
Maybe. I don't know. We're gonna fucking watch it anyway. Fall asleep to it, whatever we do.
At work, I've never had, and I tweeted this, I've never had that moment, I don't know if you've had it, where in the past 6 months, I've had the following phrase told to me more often than ever in my life, and that is, do you ever get a break? Do you ever get a day off? Because it seems like the thing at the shop is that it's only myself and a part-timer. And then like the owner will come in and fill in every now and again, but primarily customers are only going to see two faces. Mm-hmm. So to them, it's like, yeah, this guy works every fucking day. So that's one thing. It's like, yeah, I'm working more than full time, not like 70 hours or anything like that, but I can see why, where it's like, this guy's always here. Mm-hmm. But it's like, yeah, but we're also open limited hours. But it kind of feels cool. Like, yeah, man. I'm
work
always
all
here.
the time. Yeah. I remember those
guy.
days of being a workaholic. I've had to cut back on that. It's very difficult for me to cut back on that, but I've had to. It is
difficult. Yeah, absolutely. And I think both our day-to-day tasks have been affected. And I think you've noticed it with me where I'm just like, I'll just go to sleep. It's like, whereas normally I'd be like, let me stay up and do this shit.
Right.
And instead it's like, I'm tired. I'm old.
Oh my God, every day. I noticed it when I get to my Friday at work. I'm just so mentally drained. And I said that too, because one of my coworkers asked me the other day, they're like, are you okay? I'm like, I just can't do this today. Like, there's too much going on, because I was the type of person where I like to relax. I would take my weekends and I would just relax. And now every day is 100% filled with everything. And it's not just a physical load, it's a mental load for everything I have to get done, which is so much now. And going from 0 of that to literally 150% of that is a very large mental load on me. So I think I'm handling it pretty well, but there's a lot of days where it's very overwhelming.
Yeah. Yeah, this is our lives now.
Yeah, this is
what it is.
And it won't be this forever. This is us, guys. Oh, boom, 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 boom. Oh, God, I'm so cool.
So that's what's been going on with us. It's a lot of controlled chaos, not just in the podcast, but in our lives itself. We do have a question from @insmouth_tide on Twitter. Asked us and I wanted to include it on the podcast because I think it requires a bigger response than just what Twitter has. I wanted to give it its proper due, its proper answer. And he asked, what's y'all's opinion on Bendis in general and on Supes? I've heard his writing referred to as Whedon-esque, and I know you're both tremendous fans, end quote.
Note the sarcasm there. I am willing to give him a shot and see how it works out.
We did like Miles Morales' run from Bendis. I liked Ultimate Spider-Man when I was reading that. I know Avengers wasn't great for a lot of people with Bendis, and I know a lot of his event books weren't fantastic. Civil War 2, I believe he did, and that was lacking. So I think Bendis works best when he's handling one character, when he's focusing on one book. So I think the potential of another great story from him is there with Superman. With that out of the way, I'm not happy that Peter J. Tomasi and Pat Gleason are leaving the book, and I know a lot of readers aren't happy. They're hearing a lot of rumors of they're going to kill off Jonathan Kent. Bendis wants to kill off his family. He wants to bring it to just Superman again. Something big is going to change in the Superman book that I know Bendis, I know what he does. He will upset the readers, and then there'll be a story that spins out of it. And then so I'm worried for that because I know there's going to be readers that are going to drop out of Superman once Bendis takes over. But I hope that his story told is just as good as what Peter J. Tomasi is. But either way, we're going to follow Peter wherever he goes. Same with Pat Gleason. And then I believe Pat is still drawing some issues for Bendis. So we're still picking that up. But wherever Tomasi goes, that's going to be, he's like maybe not quite as much, but he's like the Aronofsky of the comic world where he will elevate the characters, make us care about these stories, make us care about certain characters. And as soon as Superman was announced, like normally we would not subscribe to the Superman solo book, but as soon as Tomasi, and that's something that we've done more as growing readers, I think, over the years, is we follow the creators as well as the characters.
Right.
So wherever he goes, we're going to read it. If he goes to Teen Titans, great. I'm subscribed to Teen Titans until he stops. If he goes to Aquaman, wherever. If he goes to Marvel, I'll read his Marvel book. So I think Bendis, I don't really understand where the Whedon-esque comes from. I don't know because I know his dialogue goes quick, like it's back and forth, and that's not Joe Whedon. It's Joe Whedon is
shit.
Fucking yeah. He is the Rob Liefeld, if anything. Like if Whedon were to write one of those. So I don't understand that comparison, but. I guess it's cautious optimism for Bendis on Superman. And I think it's good that he is on a small title like Superman and not like where they suddenly move Tom King to something else and then he does bad. It's not like they put him on a book that isn't selling gangbusters. It's doing well, but it's not going to be like, oh shit, we just lost a ton of subscribers. It's going to be okay.
I would hope that because he's had this story in his mind for years, that he's had time to work through it and will give us something really quality. But of course, we'll find out soon enough. We have learned over the years that when things like this happen, you just got to wait and see how it plays out and go from there.
The final thing I do want to say about that is people worried that this is going to be like the beginnings of what Marvel was doing, in which we get all these. I've heard it a lot of times. It's like, oh, you're going to pander to millennials and they're going to do this, and Bendis is going to make Superman a woman. It's like Bendis. Yeah, I've heard that. It's like Bendis wasn't the guy that did that shit at Marvel. Like he wasn't the one that was a part of that whole movement. Like there were elements of that in his stories, but he wasn't that proponent of, yeah, let's do all these changes. It's going to be fine. Like, yeah, you're going to see some modernization if you want to call it that, or maybe some slight pandering, but I never felt that from the Miles solo when I was reading it. It was never like, I'm black and I'm Puerto Rican and ooh, it never felt that way. It was like yeah, that's who I am as well. And I'm Spider-Man. It was all about being Spider-Man. I still love his grandma, like just because I understand that culture as well as a Latino. So it was cool to see something handled so well, like this strict grandma, it's like, yes, this is, and now people know because of Coco that this is a thing,
Right.
not just with Mexican families, but apparently also with Puerto Ricans. So I loved it. Maybe just minorities in general. Like, honestly, it's probably, I'm asking you and you're like, I don't know.
I don't know. Danny, I'm white.
Let me know, fellow minorities. So there you go. I'm what you're fine with it
Yeah,
so far.
I
You're
mean,
excited.
I'm gonna wait. I'll read the first issue, and if I don't like it, then you'll all know. Just like with Dark Knight's Metal, which I haven't liked from the beginning because I hashtag called it. Okay, anyway, I'm sorry.
On to our Patreon shout-outs of the week.
This week we have 3 shout-outs. First one goes out to Robin, whose Twitter and Instagram is at Robin Concepts.
He recently uploaded a digital surrealistic painting that is indescribable. Please check it out. It is amazing. Robin always impresses me. I can't describe it. I can't describe it. You got to see the art yourself.
All right.
It's got perspective. It's got great use of color. And I know normally I'm a guy I love traditional drawings over digital, but you can do so many beautiful things with digital, and I can admit that. And this is how you do digital right. Check out, again, Robin on Twitter and Instagram at Robin Concepts.
Next, we have Matt, whose Twitter is at Mr. Forklift.
He recently joined our Discord chat and retweeted some great Yoda-inspired St. Patrick's Day posts. So do follow. Also, if you like UFC football, UCF, I'm sorry. I'm so used to UFC. I would love to see UFC football, by the way. But UCF football, if you're a fellow Floridian, do follow Matt on Twitter at Mr. Forklift.
And finally, we have Rob, whose Twitter is at The Real Citek.
SciTech. I found out. It's SciTech.
SciTech.
He's got a YouTube channel, youtube.com/TheRealSciTech, and he sent Kelli a promo Pikachu card.
Cool.
It's yet to arrive, but he sent it because he was like, I finally stopped slacking, and I sent it. And you saw the picture of it.
Yes.
You collect all the Pikachus.
All the Pikachus. I am on my way to collecting all the Pikachus. It'll never happen, but I'm trying. So thank you so much.
Gotta catch them all.
I do.
Also, a huge thanks to DecalAvenue.com for the help at the $5 reward tier. If you would like your shout out every single month right here on the Reasons I'm Broke podcast, obviously we do some research on what you've been tweeting, what you've been posting up. Head on over to patreon.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke for as little as $1 a month. That equals out to 25 cents an episode. If you feel like you're getting $1's worth of entertainment, knowledge, comedy, whatever it is, head on over to patreon.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. There's also a link on our website and on today's show notes.
And of course, you guys don't have to be a Patreon. Our show will always be $25 a week. Just seeing if you're paying attention. Our show will always be free. The best thing you can do is talk to us on Twitter. Let us know what you think of the show. Let others know. Get the word out there. Help our numbers grow.
You can also leave us a voicemail if you want to ask your question and be heard on the podcast. Head on over to speakpipe.com/TheReasonsI'mBroke. There's also a link in today's description. T-shirts. TeePublic has been doing a ton of the $14 t-shirt sales.
Ooh.
We're going to have two new designs. Well, one new design, one returning design.
Okay.
Going up into the shop next month.
Yay! I need some tank tops for the summer. So
that's
I
going
will jump on that.
If you head on over to thereasonsI'mbroke.com/merch, you can check out all the shirts that we have on there. It's our TeePublic t-shirts, and you can also get a link in today's show notes for that. So you can represent the Brokehead Core, fly your Brokehead Core colors, and maybe you'll run into another fellow Brokehead Core member. Who knows? But either way, you're supporting the show, and that definitely all the earnings go right back into the podcast.
If you do get a shirt, though, it does not tell us who purchased it. So take a picture, post it up on Twitter, #BrokeheadSelfie.
Brian recently got the Kingdom of Hearts t-shirt.
What?
Thank you so much.
What is that?
He brought the Kingdom. He bought the King. Kelli, you thank Brian for buying a Kingdom of Hearts t-shirt.
Thank you for buying a t-shirt, but I don't know what that fake news game is. So
he bought a t-shirt. It's called Kingdom of Hearts. I will tag you in it. It's up there.
I don't know what that is. A what?
He bought a t-shirt. You thank him for Kingdom of Hearts.
What language are you speaking? This is
You're
an
killing me.
English podcast, Daniel.
You are killing me.
English.
Murdering me.
What? Who? What? I'm
Oh,
confused.
so thank you again so much, all of our Patreon backers and all of you that have bought a T-shirt, and for all of you for tuning in. Thank you for letting us know that you are there, that we should continue the podcast, and we love doing it. We hope that you found something in the show that you learned from or you got entertained by. The final bit of our podcast is going to be our interview with Dwight from DWIGHT'S Comics. So this is where you're gonna join us for the interview.
I have
in the
to
future.
go take care of our child,
our sick child.
Yes,
I got you.
Our poor sick child. My parents watched him during our show, and I'm sure he's puked all over the place by now. So I need to go save them. I'm gonna be Batman and swoop in and punch the throw up.
All right, so then here's Palva Kelly sign off before the interview today.
Goodbye, all of you broquettes. All will be well. Thank you for joining our show.
And here we have the interview portion of the podcast. You've heard it before. Several weeks ago, we have talked about the transition of Dreamland Comics over to DWIGHT'S Comics, and we have the man himself, Dwight, joining us as the head of the new comic shop that is DWIGHT'S Comics. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Dwight.
Well, thank you for having me.
So this, as some of the broquettes know, but for anyone this episode is their first one, Dreamland Comics used to be my comic shop growing up. This is the one that, as I mentioned several weeks ago, was the one shop that I was like, wow, this is what a comic store could be. Because before that, as a kid, as I was growing up, I went to several shops that are very much like the Simpsons comic book guy type of, the darker comic shop with the guy behind the counter reading a book, not paying attention. And then when I moved to Schaumburg, it was like, this is almost like a high-end comic book store, and that became the new standard for me as I visited many different shops. And as I mentioned before, I moved to Florida, and since then I seeked out something similar. So you, Dwight, are continuing that legacy of this is how great comic shops can be.
That's absolutely true. And to piggyback on your story, I am a native Chicagoan, and I've always loved going to comic shops, but for the most part, the ones I went to were exactly like you described, the Simpsons character. You go in and books are everywhere. You can't find anything, and the owner either doesn't know or doesn't care to help you out. My wife and I moved to Elgin about 3 years ago, and so I was looking for a new comic shop, and I stumbled across Dreamland, and I fell in love. I was like, this is the way a comic shop would be.
Yes.
And if I ever got the chance to open my own shop, which has been a dream of mine, it would mirror the way Dreamland goes. It's funny how things work out, though, because here I am now actually the owner of what used to be Dreamland.
That's absolutely amazing. So let's go back to the beginning. When did you fall in love for comics? Because to run a comic book shop, I'm a store manager myself at a local comic store. You have to love this stuff. You have to absolutely be infatuated by it. So what was it that got you into this world?
When I was a little boy, I want to say about 5 or 6 years old, I was visiting my grandfather, and we went to a drugstore. While we were at the drugstore, I saw my very first spinner rack. I had no idea what this was. And on that rack was a JSA team-up. I'll never forget it. And I pointed to it, and I asked my grandfather, what was that? He said, oh, those are just comic books. And I said, I don't know what that is, but I have to have one of those. And so he bought me that JSA team-up, and we spent the rest of the weekend just poring over this book. And that set the stage for my love affair for comics going on now 50 years.
That's beautiful. Go ahead, continue.
I'm sorry. I get so excited talking about this stuff. It's amazing to me. Flash forward to today. I had just finished a rather high-stress job I had working for the state of Illinois, and my wife and I were trying to contemplate our next stages of life, and I was coming into Dreamland because that had become my regular store, and Lori, the owner, had mentioned that she was about to open another store, and would I be interested in possibly helping out. And I said, before she could even finish the sentence, I was like, where do I sign? And so she had opened a store over in a local mall, and I had spent the holiday, this last holiday season, helping her at the store at the mall. We got to talking, and she had mentioned that she had been doing this for going on about 30 years, and she was looking to make a transition out. And I had said that if I ever got the chance, I would love to own a comic store. So the fates aligned for us. She was looking to get out, and I was looking to get in. Mm-hmm. And we worked out some deals, and lo and behold, Dwight's Comics was born.
You've got to have so many ideas. You had mentioned before we started recording that what kind of, for anyone that has still been shopping at Dreamland and is now going through the transition, are there any changes that they can expect? Are we going to continue the same Dreamland experience? Is there going to be some enhancements to this particular store?
The one enhancement that we have right now is in the front window is a life-size replica of Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman.
That is awesome.
Other than that, we have made no changes. The Dreamland sign came down, mm-hmm. and I'm in the process of buying a sign that says Dwight's Comics. Right now, there's just outside the door a sign that says Comics. Mm-hmm. We have kept everybody's subscription lists. We've kept everybody's discounts that they had from Dreamland.
Good.
We have kept all of the racks. The only thing we changed as far as the racks is that Lori had everything alphabetical. We decided to break everything up by company. So nice. The Marvels are all in one section, the DCs are in another, and the Independents are in another. Other than that, we didn't change where anything was. We've expanded the kids section a little bit because we want to get more of the youngsters in. You know, mm-hmm. Like I said, I learned how to read and developed my love of reading from comic books, and I get excited when I see parents bring their kids into the store because it just touches something in me that I kept all of these years.
And those are the future readers. That's a theme that I've heard from several comic creators that we've interviewed on the show and other shop owners, is that, you know, we have to, you know, we were growing up with this stuff, and it wasn't like we had a dedicated all ages section at any shop. It was just like, let's pick out the comic that had a character that we related to. And then throughout the years, you know, everyone grew up, and the 40, 50, 60-year-olds still reading comics grew up on the books that weren't necessarily for them. But now you have this market where you can have a dedicated all ages section so that you do have and continue to foster the future readers. So that to me is great to hear that you are focusing a little bit more on the kids comics, on the all ages, on the families, and really making it continuing it as a family store.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But I say that, but I also don't want the adults to think that we're slighting them in any way, shape, form, or fashion. You know, right. We have all ages of comic books, from the young children to those that are still reading Superman and Batman like me, 40, 50 years later. We keep all of the new titles. Every new event, we definitely have issues for all of that, and we try and keep a good stock of everything. Obviously, some things will come and go. You know, we listen very closely to whatever the customers are talking about.
Yes.
You know, what they feel is hot. We definitely want to spotlight those. We set up a section here of employee picks because all of my employees are also readers and collectors, which, you know, only enhances the experience, because people, and I know you can speak to this, people come in and they don't just buy the books, they want to talk about the books.
Yes.
And we love to interact with people. You want to come in and talk comics with me, I am your guy. You know, I have my own opinions now, so if you want to hear them, you know, I'll be happy to share them with you. So come on in and talk to me.
Yeah, I think the fact that one thing that I noticed is you said you broke out and I can't wait. I'm going up to C2E2 in a few weeks. And as I mentioned before, I always stop by. So I'll be coming in a few weeks, and I can't wait to see what you had mentioned, the separation. And that's something that I've seen at several shops. And I think it's important for them to do. And we've done it at my own as well, is separating the publisher. So you've got your DC, you've got your Marvel, and then you've got your independents. And that keeps it from, say, like the GFT titles mixing in with Superman, mixing in with Batman. So it's like, no, if you want your superheroes, this is where you get that. If you want your heavier independent titles, those are going to be here. So I think that's a good change because, as you mentioned earlier, you're also catering to the Wednesday Warriors, to everyone that is coming in and picking up regularly. And I think that's a great change to better find the book that they're looking for.
Absolutely. And we are strong believers in giving the Wednesday Warriors, I like that phrase. I'm going to start using that now.
Yeah, do it, please.
The previews.
Yes.
We want them to take previews and look through them and bring us back the forms. We're doing subscription lists. I would like to take credit for creating that here, but that's something that's been going on at the shop forever. But I am making sure that all of the existing customers, we're going through their list right now to make sure that they're getting everything they want. Mm-hmm. And if there's some other titles that we could possibly recommend to them, we talk about that as well. And conversely, if customers have seen something in previews that they've been reading, they'll recommend them to us. I was joking with one of our customers last night that my nightstand is overflowing with books that not only are the ones that I like to read, but the ones that customers recommend that I check out. Mm-hmm. So I will never be bored here at the store.
There you go. I love the previews catalog, as you mentioned. I think that is probably the best tool. Like, yeah, you've got social media marketing, you've got your websites, you've got everything, but the previews catalog, I think, and that's something that I've personally pushed for a lot in the past year, is the tool that we can empower readers and regulars at the shop with to find the books that are coming up, to find the special variant that they want, to find out about the new series that is releasing, because there's nothing, there isn't a worse feeling than that Wednesday comes out and it's like, oh, someone's just finding out about a certain title. But, I think we're moving into that direction of like, yeah, readers are growing more and more passionate of it. Comic shops are empowering readers with these tools of like, you find out about this stuff as soon as we do. And we want that excitement for everyone. Like, yeah, the previews is in, let's flip through it. Let's see what came out. And I'm so happy to hear that you're also pushing the previews catalog as like, look, this is what we all look at. Check it out, please. It's amazing.
Oh, gosh,
it's the greatest thing. It's like the Christmas catalog every month.
I get so excited when a new previews comes out. You're right. It's like a Christmas catalog. Everything about this job is amazing to me. I've had different kinds of careers in my life, excuse me, but I can honestly say this is the only job I've ever had where I get up every morning excited to come to work. There's always something new to learn, new mm-hmm. people's names to try and get to memorize, new stories that some people want to share with me, experiences that they've gone through. Our community is a wonderful community, and I'm just so pleased that I have been so embraced by everybody that has so far come to the store. That's
really great to hear, and I think what gives me the most confidence as well, and it's like, this is the shop you want to go to if you're in the Schaumburg, Hoffman, Elgin area, and people will drive further, and I found that out, to go to a shop that does interact with the customers, because people can get books anywhere. They can get Absolutely. Their issues anywhere, but they go to your shop or this shop or wherever because of the people behind the counter, because of the people that are there to share in the excitement and the passion. And it sounds like you have that as well. You're there, you're picking up comics that people are like, you really need to read this. Yes, I will read this. Yeah, and we'll talk about it next week. So I love that, Dwight. That's incredible.
Yeah. This is literally a dream come true for me. I've told all of my friends and family, first of all, they all expected me to end up here anyway, because I've talked about it forever. One day I'm going to own a comic shop. But, it's one of those things that people talk about they're going to do one day and it just never happens. My dream came true, and I am so beyond excited about it. It's a smile on my face all the time, and it's genuine. I love this store.
So what other, you have a team of people at Dwight's Comics. To anyone that is visiting Dwight's Comics, who can they expect? What kind of personalities and different readers can they expect from the person behind the counter?
Well, let's see. We have myself and 3 other employees. There's Ben, who handles our social media. he put us in touch, so I got to pat him on the back.
Mhm.
He is an avid reader of just about everything that'll come in. Like I said, he's more on the social media side, so he can talk to you about whatever our Facebook posts, our Twitter posts, and all that. We have Chad, who is more of our horror guy. He seems to be into all of that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, I'm not that guy. So when you start talking about these things, I have to, well, let me go get Chad to talk to you about that.
There you go.
and then to round out our group, I have Sarah, because yes, you need to have a female presence here at the store. And Sarah is our Batman fanatic.
Nice.
She can talk to you about just about anything. One of the greatest things about her is that her son, she named Bruce Wayne. I think that is just about the coolest thing that any parent could do for their kid.
That is awesome.
It is awesome. and she's back here shooting me a dirty eye because I'm talking about her on the podcast. So
No, that's perfect. And that's exactly who these are the people you can expect when you go into Dwight's Comics. And I did notice you mentioned the social media that on Instagram already, it seems like it has definitely taken off compared to, what was happening before with other stores. Even you can see like some stores will just post up links, or they'll just post up like a cross post thing. But with you guys, you've already started doing some videos on Instagram. I've noticed you just put up that amazing logo, which turned out great. So,
well, thank you so very much. Actually, I have to give credit to Chad for that. He designed the logo. And he said, "How about this?" And I immediately fell in love with it. I showed it to the team because everything that's here is a team effort.
Mhm.
They all agreed that it was a wonderful thing, and so that's how that logo came out.
Looks good on, yeah.
As far as I wish I could take credit for the social media, but again, that's Ben.
Mhm.
He wanted me to do a Facebook Live for the first day. And my immediate response was, "What's a Facebook Live?" I'm that old guy. He showed me how to do all of that, and he's excited to do all of these things. He comes in every week and he takes pictures and he talks about what's going on in the store, and he gets that out there, and that's a wonderful thing. I would be lost without my team. Yeah. I really would be.
That's why you have your Justice League.
This right. These are my Justice Leaguers.
No, I do want to once again, give credit for that, because the Facebook Lives, the posts, all of that, and that's why you have your team who can handle different portions of that. It is going to be, I think, the future of a lot of these comic stores, because as you and I, we've mentioned, and we both know that it's the people behind the counter that are going to continue this business, that are going to continue these stores, and
Absolutely.
I think customers seeing, subscribers, friends and family seeing the faces behind all of that's the guy from the store. Like, all of that is super important. And once again, why they continue to shop at specialty stores like ours.
Oh, absolutely. Like you said earlier, you can shop any place, but we want this to be a special thing for you every Wednesday or whenever day you decide to come. That this isn't just a place where you can come get your books and get out. Although you can do that, of course. We want you to come and linger for a while. Talk to us about books. Let's talk about the latest movie, Wakanda Forever. Let's debate, who was the best Batman, and let's do those things. It's a wonderful community, and the more people that we can get involved in it, the better for everybody.
Before we go into what you have planned for Dwight's Comics, obviously Free Comic Book Days coming up, Halloween Comic Fest later on in the year, and all of the events around the bigger movies like Infinity War and Aquaman and Deadpool 2. If you're in the Illinois area, where can they find you if they live in Hoffman, Elgin? If they live anywhere, or they're visiting C2E2, for example, there's going to be a lot of comic readers in town for C2E2. So if they want to visit Dwight's Comics, where exactly is the store?
Well, our physical address is 1415 West Schaumburg Road in Schaumburg. I tell people about a half mile up from Schaumburg High School. I'm sorry, someone was talking to me there. We are a half mile from Schaumburg High, and it's in a strip mall right here. And you'll see the Wonder Woman in the window. If you see Gal Gadot, that's where we are.
Follow Gal Gadot. Go towards Gal.
That's right. Go towards Gal. And we are our hours. We're open till 7 p.m. Most nights. 5 o'clock on Sundays. Well, of course, we have the new books on Wednesdays. We are going to post these hours and the times and everything on social media. I'm going to get Ben go and do some more work for me. The same location. If you've ever come to Dreamland, we're in the same place that they've been for the last 30 years. I had a couple of customers. They came when it first opened, and it was in another store, 3 or 4 doors down, but it's been in the same mall, strip mall, and we have no intentions at this moment to ever leave.
So if someone were to want to start a subscription at Dwight's Comics, is there a minimum number of titles? What kind of perks can they expect at Dwight's? And obviously, the biggest one being that you get your books every Wednesday. But what else does Dwight offer as far as subscription lists?
Well, you come in and we have a subscription list that, as you know from the way comics work, it's done today. It's already out of date tomorrow. So we have plenty of space for you to add on titles. You know, we offer 10% discount for anybody on a pull list. The minimum order is 10 books, but if you come to me and you say, look, all I do is I read Deadpool. I don't read anything else. And he's only got 3 titles. I think, since I know the owner, he might be willing to work with you. We strive very hard to make sure that all of the books are pulled, so that when you come in, when you walk in and say, hey, I'm here, give me my books, you don't have to go and count them out to make sure that they're not all there. Now, as there is an asterisk next to that. We've ordered before, and so sometimes the things that we think were coming out this week, Diamond sometimes doesn't quite get them to us. So
yeah,
So it's if you wanted that Amazing Spider-Man and it wasn't in your box, it isn't because I didn't decide to give you one. It's just because I didn't get any copies myself. But yeah, ordinarily we are 98% effective in getting all of the books out.
Yeah, that is the biggest thing, and that's something that I tell readers and listeners of the show is go through that previous catalog. Within 3 weeks of getting that catalog, let your local comic shop know so that they can
Absolutely.
order enough copies before the final order cutoff. So that is something that I think a lot of readers are running into, where it's like, oh, I heard about the Red Goblin storyline, I want to jump on that. I heard about Thanos, and it's like, great, fantastic. You're 2 months from now, we'll have our orders adjusted based on how many people suddenly subscribe to it. But as soon as let your comic shop know, because it'll make it easier to bump up the numbers to help get that book for everyone.
Absolutely. I can only use the excuse I'm new here for so long, then it doesn't work anymore.
So you've got Free Comic Book Day coming up. You've got C2E2 right around the corner. Do you have any plans set up yet, or is it still too early for Free Comic Book Day, for example?
Well, right now we're talking to a couple of cosplayers and some costumers to come out.
Nice.
We're trying to line up a face painter for the kids. C2E2 is I go every year as a fan. This is the first year I'll go as a retailer. So I'm excited to go to the retailers convention to find out all of those things and meet some of the other store owners around here and do some networking. What other? We are going to do our first midnight sale for Action 1000.
Yes.
That's a big deal.
Thousands.
We're going to start posting that on social media, and we'll get some signs out to let people know. There will be 1 or 2 other surprises here and there. We just did our first sale, which was hugely successful, just to let people know, hey, we're here and we took over, and come get to know us, kind of a thing. That's by no means going to be our last one. We're going to continue to do those for a while, here and there, and there'll be other surprises along the way.
That's great to hear. That's I might see you at C2E2, if not at the store, but definitely looking forward to talking face to face when I'm up in Chicago. So I think the C2E2 convention is going to be great as a retailer as well. And now, for many years as a reader, you got to go as a fan, but as a retailer, it's like this whole different perspective where you have Dan DiDio, Joe Quesada actually talking to you like, this is our plan for the next year. So that's going to be such a fun experience. And I'm sure you're super excited.
I can't
for it.
wait to do that. Like you say, as a fan, to meet Dan DiDio. Oh my God, I can't wait.
And then you had mentioned Free Comic Book Day. So if you're in the Schaumburg area, Hoffman, Elgin, cosplayers, you got face painting, there's going to be plenty of books for everyone, for all ages, for your regular reader, the big DC book, the big Marvel book that they do every single year for Free Comic Book Day. So it sounds like you've already started to line up all of these great events for the rest of 2018 to make the comic, to make Dwight's Comics a landmark for the comic lover in Illinois.
I'm hopeful that when people in the surrounding area think about comics, they think, well, I need to go stop by Dwight's and see what's going on there.
For anyone go ahead.
It's just surreal to me to talk about myself in the third person like that. I own a comic book shop. This is the most amazing thing that I can ever possibly think that's happened to me.
It's the dream. Yeah, absolutely.
It really is.
So for Dwight's Comics, where can they follow you? Where can they say, okay, I want to keep up with the, obviously, I'm sure you're going to put up pictures for Free Comic Book Day for C2E2 when you're there. Now, where can they follow you? Where can listeners and people that want to shop at Dwight's find you online? We
have Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. They're all Dwight's Comics. Like I said, we are in the process of working on a website. Stay tuned is about the best I can give you for that one. But I'm thinking that's going to be Dwight's Comics as well, because every day I get people coming in asking, when are you going to get that website? When's it going? It's coming. Trust me. I know we need to do it, so it's coming. But as far as social media, the Facebook, the Instagram, and the Twitter, Dwight's Comics.
And please take it from me as someone who shopped at Dreamland for many years and continued visiting. And as Dwight has said, it is continuing and evolving from that standard. I've always recommended that particular store, and now Dwight's Comics. And honestly, Dwight, I really can't wait to go back up as I do every year and do some shopping at what is now Dwight's Comics.
Well, thank you. And I can't wait for you to come by and check out the store. And I hope to either meet you here or at C2E2.
Perfect. Thank you again, Dwight, for doing the interview today for the rest of the listeners and the Brocats.
It was an amazing experience. Thank you. And if you ever need me to talk to you again, by all means, give us a holler. And like I said earlier, Wakanda forever.